Today, let's talk about types. Okay, so some people have a type they're attracted to, whereas others aren't so specific. Now, you know how it is. You've got people who like blondes versus brunettes. You got boob men versus leg men. And I, too, have a preference. My thing, I am attracted to dark hair, Roman noses, and unibrows. Seriously, and dark eyes. But these are not perfect requirements, but they're a big plus. It's not to say I haven't found other types attractive, because, I've seen, blondes with light eyes, blue or green, that I found attractive, but odds are I'm not going to do a double take like I would with someone my type. I also can find people attractive without feeling sexually attracted to them. So this is where my type comes into play, to being almost like a fetish, because if those elements I prefer are not in check, I'm just really not sexually interested for the most part. Now, some people out there might say that's superficial or shallow, and I'll tell you right now, that is a person out of touch with natural, basic, primal instincts. There are studies that show that people often are attracted to people who are similar looking, like dark hair, fair skin. It's not a hard rule that's set in stone. There's exceptions, of course. But the point is, a lot of people out there really do have a natural preference. And what happens when you see someone you're attracted to, there is a physiological response you absolutely cannot control. For me, I literally might have a surge, like radiate throughout my body. And an everyday person, even of an attractive person, does not have this impact on me. This is more for that someone that basically is my type. Also, they say that when you're attracted to someone, your pupils will dilate like really fast, and they may shrink back down, so it might not be something that's obvious if you're not paying close attention or you're not close enough to see this, but there are physiological responses people have when they see someone they are wildly sexually attracted to. To call this shallow is shallow in itself. There are evolutional and biological reasons for this. I had the opportunity of seeing Richard Dawkins in person, and I listened to a lecture he gave called The Beauty of Science and the Science of Beauty, and it was about natural selection in the realm of sex. He did focus on animals, but it wasn't a stretch to see the same thing in the human race. Now, with me, I think back to this type I'm attracted to. It has been there from the beginning. It is not something that developed later with time. And I also have always had a thing for very skinny men. My mom used to make jokes about how, because she picked up on this pattern right away, but she would make jokes about the guy being so skinny that I could hug him and wrap my arms around myself, hugging me too at the same time, like he's so skinny. And so I do like ultra thin, to tell you the truth. I've never been attracted to obesity, and some people might get mad at me for saying that as if it's politically incorrect, but I'm sorry, back to evolutional and biological reasons of not being attracted to someone who is likely not that healthy. I'm sorry, you cannot be obese and healthy. You can lie to yourself, that's fine, but we're not going to get into that because that is a different video. I like skinny fit people, but I like skinnier than average. Like, I don't have a problem with ribs showing and that sort of thing. You know, kind of like heroin skinny, minus the heroin, of course. You know, junkies are a special kind of fucked up. So, it's the look, the skinny look. It's very striking, and you also see this on runway models, because what happens when you're really lean, your features really come out, you know, your cheekbones, your jawline, and everything is kind of emphasized. Oh, who's being a little crybaby? I don't know if you could pick it up on camera, but she came in and did a little whimper. Wishbone. You'll have to occupy yourself for a few minutes, sweetie. She does a pretty good job of that. I don't know why she's crying a little bit. So yeah, I definitely have a type. I absolutely cannot help this. Sure, I could give a guy a chance who isn't my type, but the odds are, well, not the odds are, the fact is that something's going to be missing for me, and I would never completely devote myself to that person. No way. And I don't even bother dating people I'm not sexually attracted to, because they should be in the friend category. You shouldn't be screwing people you're not into. I mean, come on. I shouldn't even have to explain this, but so having a very specific type to the point of being like a fetish, though, can be a problem in that it severely limits our dating options. Now, I've been celibate for well over a year now, and it's by choice, okay? There are suitors, but I'm not looking twice, so why bother? And I do know people who have sex with people they're not sexually attracted to, and that's just, I can't relate to that at all. I mean, those are people that just should stay in the friend category, okay? Because they're really not gonna go much further than a fuck, if you think about it. And if you're that hard up to get off that you would even screw people you're not attracted to, you should take up jerking off or masturbation or get a dildo or something like that. I just don't see how it could be very rewarding, and I so could not bring myself to be intimate and kiss passionately someone I'm not into. That's just how it is. But then again, you know, maybe under the absolute right conditions, a miracle could happen, but it's asking for a lot. Now, this thing I have with the Roman nose, okay, some people give me a hard time about it. This is a good reason why I'm attracted to people of Middle Eastern descent or Italians. They have this prominent nose that I find very attractive. However, people with those upbringings with heavy Catholicism, or, you know, they're hardcore Muslims, that's not going to cut it for me. I've seen the effects of religion, and it fucks people up, especially, you know, when they're really deep into, you know, they're a Roman Catholic. And if they come from an Italian family, odds are they are. And the worst case I saw was the person basically went to a Catholic school from beginning to graduation, and he had some serious issues with what I will call the Madonna Whore syndrome. It's like where they put you on this idolized virginal pedestal, but as soon as you piss them off or they find out you screwed someone before them, you're a dirty, filthy whore. It won't matter how many people they screwed, though, of course. So yeah, it's an infliction, you know, and you will see this amongst people who have these heavy religious backgrounds. I have also witnessed it in the Bible Belt, where I do a lot of, well, I did a lot of growing up. But I lived around being a military brat and was born on the West Coast and all this stuff, so I've seen basically, well, the world. And the most hostility toward women I've seen are actually from men with very deep religious backgrounds. So that's that.